Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Friday, December 27, 2019. Another milestone falls. The planks along the chines and the next two in, three in, on both sides of our 1956 17-foot Chris Craft Special Sportsman are down, fully installed, and right now, as I sneak up behind them, Joe and Anthony are working on plank number 3 on the port side. So if you want to, Joe, you can add in anything you wish to here.
Yeah, we're having issues with plank 1 up here. It being a new plank, it definitely did not want to go on very well. Rather than steaming it, I soaked it in water for 2 days. And then when I took it out, we slowly formed it and screwed it down. And as the water was drying out of it, I took a heat gun to it just so it will kind of dry out a little quicker. And from there, as soon as I took it off at the end of the day, it was completely formed. It didn't really have much memory to want to go back to being flat.
So you actually tried to overbend it, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I tried to do. And now we're just going through setting them down just enough to hold it on there while we get the batten screws. And in the front, the bow section, we got all the battens already in behind it, so that way this contour here is all getting sucked down at the same time, and that way you're not making it look like microwave bacon, rather. Then once we get all the batten screws in, we'll go down and start torquing down all the frame screws.
And the batten screws are number 8s by 1 1/4 inch?
Correct.
And it's really key here, as Dannenberg has told us over and over and over again, but like children, way too many of us tend to have wax in our ears when the truth comes to the fore. The coat of 5200 that's beneath these planks is quite generous. I would guess we aim at least an 1/8 inch thick. If it's a little more, that's fine, because as the fasteners are driven home, we'll get squeeze out along the seams that we can clean up afterwards. We want a uniform, monolithic layer of 5200 beneath the inner plywood and the outer planks. And you can see Anthony got caught. We've got a couple of fountains forming right there. 5200 jumping out. That's why you want to partially fill every single countersink with the wood screw that will go in it. Just finger tight down to the shank so that it fills the hole. And you don't get the fountains. I remember back in the 1948 Chris Craft Deluxe that we did as one of our early boats at Snake Mountain Boatworks. It was John and me doing the job, literally with Dannenberg's book sitting on the table beside the boat. like good carpenters everywhere, we started at front end and started working back. And what we noticed as we worked towards the trench is the fountains got taller and more frequent. We ended up with quite a mess. Now you see the squeeze out right here on this seam. That's actually desirable. The guys can take down the putty knife and force it in to the seam along here as I try to avoid the 5200. And then using the Interlux brushing liquid 333 and a bunch of sacrificial rags, we can clean it all off. You can see that Joe is working on this seam back here. You're just using a plastic spreader, right?
Correct. That and there is some areas where you notice if you don't have nearly as much squeeze out. So what we'll do is we'll sit there and backfill the seam of where it's not squeezed out nearly as much, just so it's completely all filled.
And Anthony brings up a good point right here, that to be absolutely certain that seam is filled to the top. It's a good idea to come back with the caulking gun and even put a little bit of extra at these points. Wasting a little bit of 5200 is a good thing in this application. As Dannenberg again says, sure, you can save 5200. Scrimp on it. You're the loser because you do not end up with a true 5200 bottom. Use lots and lots and lots of 5200. So as the guys apply 5200 to plank number 3 on port, we're getting very close to the milestone we're really after, which is all planks down, 5200 curing, and waiting to bring out the sanders, because even if you plane all of these planks to exactly the same thickness, there are issues as you work along. Some of the planks have not been fully planed to absolute uniform, so we will sand the entire bottom fair. And then I think you know the litany at this point. 3 full coats, maybe even 4, of Smith's clear penetrating epoxy sealer. And yes, I know, all these planks have already received CPES. Guess what? They're going to get a couple more. And then comes the 5 coats, not 3, not 4, not 2, 5 coats of Interlux 2003 epoxy barrier coat primer, followed by, in our case, Pettit copper bronze hard racing bottom paint. So that's our update for December 27, 2019 on the 17-foot 1956 Chris Craft Special Sportsman. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boatworks.